Good morning, Joe Greco. Ask Joe About Money. It is March 1st, 2023. A couple minutes before the market open, and I'm going to go ahead and I already started doing some work on my charts here this morning. The first thing is the overnight low. It was down here. So we have the overnight low at 39.5575. We have the overnight high at 39.91 quarter. Yesterday's low and yesterday's close, actually the market closed on the low. So yesterday's low and yesterday's close are pretty much the same price. And yesterday's high is up here. We have the open of the week all the way up top here. And so just to look at what the market did overnight. So the market sold off yesterday afternoon, and then it went lower. So it closed up here at 72 roughly, and we sold off all the way to 56. And then the market went back up. It retraced more than 50% of this down move, but then it sold off this morning. So now we are at support close to the over low. So it looks like the market's just opening up. Let's go ahead and let's change our charts to the regular trading hours. All right, so let's put in the open. So here's the open. There's the open. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. So yesterday's low, yesterday's close, overnight high, and yesterday's high. All right, then let's go and take a look at the larger time frame chart. Let's look at the 60-minute. So here's a 60-minute chart. And so basically we're coming down here, and we talked about this yesterday. At the time, I was looking at this yesterday as a inverted head and shoulders. This would have been the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and we could still be doing that because what happened here, this is support. We came down here last week, and we found support. And so now at this point, this is could be just a leg down from a trading range. So we're closer to support than we are at resistance, but doesn't mean that we don't look for shorts. We're going to read the market and we're going to observe. We're not going to predict. So at this point, we're looking at this area here. We have all of our lines drawn in at this point. And let's go back to the 15-minute to get a little bit more clarity when it comes to this. Yeah, we could see. So yesterday, what happened yesterday? We opened right around here yesterday. Yep, we opened right around here. The market was in a trading range. The market attempted up. Guess what? Came to resistance, and then it sold off. So now we're closer to support. All this right here, you can see this is support. But we're going to look for a spot. We're going to see what happens at the open. And so here we are. Here's the open. This is where the market closed. It closed very weak yesterday. Closed very weak. So we're about the moving average, 85 roughly, 67. Here's the gap. So if we're going to go up first, the first thing we're going to try to do is close this gap. And then we have the moving average up here. So we're going to see what happens. And we're going to be patient. We're going to take our time. We see all this traffic down here that was Friday. That was last Friday. So this was last Friday. So this bar closed almost a perfect doji bar. So far, we're opening pretty far down below the moving average, but this is a 1 or 2 tick bear bar. So right now, let's just mark in our high and low. This is the opening drive range from 67.75 down to 61. All right, so let's see what happens. And as always, we're just observing. As always, we are just seeing what the market is doing. We're never predicting. We're never hoping. We're never in a rush. It's a long trading day. And what I can tell you is the market is not going to stay in this range for the entire day. So that I know. So if that's the case, we're going to look for an indication of if they put in a big bear bar that's convincing, and it's got to be a convincing bear bar because we're far from the moving average. So for me to sell, it's got to be really heavy selling to the downside. Or we could reverse from here and then we could print the low of the day at some point in the first 30 minutes and then reverse from here. So I don't know what's going to happen. And that's what actually I believe is my edge, because people are constantly news, watching the talking heads on TV, because they think that by watching news, reading news, they're going to be able to figure it out. My technical analysis that I look at here is not geared to trying to figure anything out. All that it's geared to do is to notice and to observe what's happening, right? So right now we're going to be hyper-focused on the price action here in the first 30 minutes of the day. So far it looks like more selling than buying, but again, that's just right now. That could change in any moment. So right now we're testing the low of the day. Buyers there for now. We're also, so that the next target to the downside, we have the overnight low. We have the overnight low down here, not too far away. We may want to go test that. But so far, we could see on top, wicks on the bottom, not very convincing price action either way so far. So now bull bar, they found buyers at the lows. What I'm always trying to figure out is, what is the story the market is trying to tell us? What is the story the market is trying to tell us? So at this point, the bear story is less convincing, and the reason why I say that is we're opening far below the moving average. We're gapping down, and very small, almost a doji on the first bar. Now we have a bull bar. My belief, and not a belief, just the story of the short side. To me, if they were going to be selling, if there was heavy sellers, we're now 10 minutes into the open, and all that we've seen is buyers so far. That could change with this bar, but it's also looking like a trading range open. So far, trading range open. They poked through the high, and they found sellers. So look, so far, bull bar, sellers. Now, if they put in a bear bar, will there be buyers? This is the hallmark of a trading range so far. And again, this could change at any point. So right now, we're just watching, we're waiting, we're observing. And most importantly is we're being patient, right? We always exercise patience. Right? We always exercise patience. So here we are, 3 bars in. Bull bar, they sold it immediately. Bear bar, looks like they're buying it now. So again, this is a very muted trading range behavior. If you're looking at a smaller, lower time frame, like if we look at the 1 minute, for instance, you can see different things. You can see a big bull bar and then pull back, bull bar, pull back, bull bar. But for me, the way I trade, so it's not that all of these bars are noise. Every bar has significance if you analyze it bar by bar. But it's just, for me, it's just these decisions have to be made too quick. And I found that I made too many mistakes when trading on a shorter time frame. So for me, I settle at the 5 minute. And remember, the 5 minute, when I look at the market, whatever chart that you're looking at actually is not the market, right? Because the market, this is just our representation of it. Because if I look at a 5 minute chart, is this the market? Or is this the market? Or is this the market? And there's an infinite number of time parameters. There's an infinite number of colors. So when you're looking at the market, for me, this is the market. But this is just my representation of the market. The reason why that's important is because we have to find what works for us. We have to find what works with our personality, with our rhythm. So for me, the 5 minute bars work very well. So when we look here, so what's happening so far? Bull bar, sell. Bear bar, buy. Okay, range bound market so far. All right, so now we have a big bull bar. Okay, so big bull bar now. And so now we broke out of the opening range, but big resistance above. So we're going to have to see what happens here, because this could just as easily reverse. So let's see if there's going to be continued buying here, or let's just see if this is just going to be another reversal. So for me to be interested in the long, because we have the moving average right above, and this is why I wasn't interested in the short, is because it could have done this, and it did that. Doesn't mean that we hop on the long, but for now, the short case is not something that I would be interested in, at least for the next 15 minutes, I would say, at least, because, for now they're selling this. So this could be, when we're in a trading range, how do you make money in a trading range? You buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. So if we are in a trading range, right? If we are in a trading range, do you want to be buying high? You want to be buying low? Because so far today, it's been reversal, bull bar, bear bar. So it's actually, bear bar, bull bar, bear bar, bull bar. So far bear. So we look for patterns. So I would rather buy higher up than buy here, because The reason why I say that is because higher up, there's more evidence of buyers. And right now, this could just be, because we have a lot of resistance up here. So this could just be, at this point, the top end of the trading range, which this is more of a sell versus a buy. Now, I'm not going to sell here, but I'm just telling you what I see. We're right at the close. It looks like the close of yesterday, which is also the low of yesterday, which is right here, is an important number. That's where we are right now. Let's see what happens. As we're closing in here to the first 25 minutes here of the market open. So far, I'm defining this as a trading range open. And why is that? Because every time we have a bear bar, we reverse up. Every time we have a bull bar, we're reversing down. So right now, we have about 45 seconds left in this bar. We're close to the moving average. We are trading around yesterday's close and yesterday's low. So at this point, trading range open, and we're going to see what happens. And let's see what happens, see how this bar closes. But so far, the theme of the morning, and again, I rarely trade during the open, but it gives us a good temperature of the market, because we're always looking for, is it going to be a trending day from the open? Roughly 1 out of 5 days during the week that happens. Today doesn't seem to be that day, at least so far. Now, that doesn't mean that the character of the day cannot change. It can, and it does all the time. So now here is a bear bar, but now it's a smaller bear bar, and there's a tail on the bottom of it. So we're going to take a look. That's the open. So right now we are in, this is our range for the day. We do have sustained buying above the moving average, and we have closes above the moving average. I would be interested in a long. But for the time being, what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch, and we're going to wait, and we're going to look for our good setups. Trade well and manage your risk.